Students of class 8, today I shall teach you human eye from chapter light, also persistence of vision. We know that human eye is the most important sense organ. Because of this we can see the objects around us. We know that for seeing an object there is a necessity of light and our eyesight. So when light from outside object enter into our eye, we can see objects. So it is very important therefore to understand the structure and the working of human eye. So let us learn more about structure and working of human eye. Human eye consists of a spherical shape. Human eye generally or roughly is a spherical shape. The outer coat of the eye is white and this is tough so that it can protect the interior part of the eye from any injury from outside. And the white portion is known as sclera. The most outer part is known as cornea, which is transparent. It also consists of pupil through which light enters into our eyes. It consists of iris. It consists of retina where image form and many optical nerves which sense the light and image and give signal to the brain. This is the cross section of human eye where we can see various parts of the important parts of the human eye which help us to see any object. It consists of cornea, which is the outermost part. Then there is a chamber known as aqueous chamber where a transparent liquid is known as aqueous humor. Cornea, there is a iris which gives the color of the eye. It is maybe brown, black, bluish or greenish. Behind cornea there is a lens which is a soft jelly-like substance and it is a convex type. Behind lens there is a chamber known as vitreous chamber where is a liquid known as vitreous liquid is there which acts as a refractive medium. So when light passes through the medium it gets refract. After passing through the lens the light makes the image on the wall known as retina. There is another layer is known as corvate which is defined here as a red color. And the most sensitive point here where the image form and we can get a clear view is known as fovea. Here most of the sensitive organ, light sensitive cells are there. The control of light into the retina is done by suspensory ligaments are known as ciliary muscles. So with the help of ciliary muscle, the contraction of iris and focal length of the lens gets changed. The optical nerves leave from retina through this path and reach or go into the brain and send electric signal into the brain for which we can see an object. So through the opening of the pupil the light enter and falls on the lens and through lens it falls and form an image on the retina. So in this way image is formed by our eyes. The image form on the retina is vertically inverted, but due to the sense organ we can see the image erect. Let's more learn about the parts of the eyes. First one is cornea. You can see here the bulging portion of the eye is known as cornea. This gives the shape of the eye and protect the inner part of the eye from outer damage. It is a transparent, soft, jelly-like substance. Next, iris and pupil. Pupil is the hole in the middle of the iris, and iris is the colorful circular or which gives the color of the eye is known as iris. Iris controls the amount of light which enter into retina. Iris is a dark or light color muscular diaphragm which has a small circular opening in the middle, and the central circular aperture or the hole is known as pupil, and the pupil appears black because no light reflects or coming from it. These iris expand and contract, for which amount of light enter into retina get changed. In this picture you can see the pupil hole size is much bigger than this one. So here iris expand and here the iris contract. When we are in the dim light, the iris contract and the pupil hole size become bigger so that more amount of light can enter. And when bright light falls into our eyes, automatically the pupil hole size becomes smaller so that less amount of light enter into our eyes. There is a video by which you can understand how does iris control the amount of light entering into eye through pupil. You can see here the contraction of the iris portion and elongation of iris portion which control the amount of light falling on the lens and then retina, and image is formed. Next, retina, rods and cone cells. The inside surface of the rear part of the eyeball is called retina. So this portion is known as retina. The eye lens focuses the image of the object on the retina. And there are about 125 million light sensitive receptors are there. These are the light sensitive receptors. When light falls on these receptors, which are known as photoreceptors, they send electrical signal to the brain through the optical nerve. There are two kinds of photoreceptor cells. One is rod cell and cone cells. Cone cells are sensitive to color and bright light, whereas the rod cells are sensitive to dim light. So, for the presence of the cone cells, we can see the objects of different color. When the image of the object falls on the retina, the optic nerve or the nerve sensitive cells send signal or electric signal to the brain, and we can identify or recognize the object. The photoreceptor or the sensitive cell, that is rod cells and cone cells, help us to see objects in dim light and in bright light. Night bird, you can see very well, they can see night not during the day. On the other hand, day bird like kite, eagle, they can see well during day but not in the night. So for the night nocturnal animals like owl, they have large cornea and a large pupil so that more light can enter into their eye. That means in their eye there are large number of rod cells which are sensitive to dim light and less number of cones, whereas in our eyes there are large number of cone cells and few number of rod cells. So student, I think you can understand how does the rod cells and cone cells help us to see. Next, blind spot and fovea. Here at the junction of the optic nerve and retina, there are no sensory cells. That means there is no opening of the sensory cells. If there are no openings, if any image falls here, if any image or light falls here, it can be sensed by your eye. So no vision is possible at that very spot. This spot is known as blind spot. And here another point is there where most of the light sensitive cells or photoreceptors are present there is known as fovea. When light falls on that very part, we can see the object very clearly and distinctively. So these are the 2 points where image form and another point where no image is formed. You can do this check existence of blind spot with the help of an activity that is given in your NCERT book, activity 16.9. It is very easy activity which help you to see, to check the presence of blind spot. Next, persistence of vision. The impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists for 1/16th of a second, and this phenomena is called persistence of vision. That means if still image of moving object are flashed on your eye at a rate faster than 16 per second, then our eye perceives the object as moving. That means our eye cannot recognize the object properly and it seems it is a moving. This phenomena is also employed in motion pictures. Movies are also we see actually for the number of separate pictures in proper sequence which are in motion. They are made to move across eye usually at a rate of 24 pictures per second or more than that, for which we see the moving pictures. So it is a very important phenomena. Next slide I am showing one video which help you to understand this one. How the motion pictures or motion cartoons are made by drawing sequence number of pictures. You can see here the person is drawing a picture of Batman and number of same pictures type but in the sequence drawn. The pages are moved very fast since it is I think you understand this one. Again, I am showing this one. I drew this flip book. So students, I think you will like the video. Next day we learn more about it. Thank you.